Why do I want to be a hospice nurse? Why would anybody choose that as their profession, especially later in life? I'm 50 years old, and I have 3 kids, and I have done lots of things in my life, including being a cook for several years in restaurants and at universities, being an administrative assistant. I've been married twice before I finally found the absolute love of my life. I have done so many different things trying to kind of figure out who I am. I worked in a funeral home. Hospice has touched my life many times over the past 50 years. The first time was when I was in my 20s and my grandmother was passing away at home with dignity the way she wanted to. I was the one who actually felt her final heartbeat. Wasn't afraid. It was a privilege. And 6 years ago, my dad got cancer, and he was able to pass away at home on hospice like he wanted. It was an awful, awful time, but he was given dignity, and people were so kind and helpful. 20 years ago, I don't think I would have had the chops to do this because I was afraid of my own self. I couldn't have sustained high pressure, yelling kind of positions. But then I became a cook at 40, and I learned how to thrive and exist in situations that require and demand, that's my cat moving this, that require and demand that you have a high tolerance for stress. And I thrived in a way that I never thought that I could, in a way that really taught me a lot about myself. Then I worked at the funeral home, and I did a lot with death, and I worked with families who really were at their most broken. And they and I were able to just click. I have a degree in psychology. I've been an empath my whole life, and I really like being there for people when they need someone. I find it to be comforting, not just for them, but for me too. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do for the rest of my career? What am I going to do for the rest of who I am as I'm on this earth? And I really thought, you know what? Hospice nursing is something I've wanted to do for 20 years. I was always afraid of it. I'm not going to be afraid of it anymore. I'm going to dive into this, and I'm going to take it all the way to a doctorate of nurse practice. And you know what? I don't give a shit that the government is reclassifying everything as a non-professional. Nurses are not professionals. Bullshit. Yes, they are. And this administration is going to disappear. It's going to leave. If it doesn't, that's a coup. So somebody coming back in is going to have to fix, or will fix, all this shit that has been made broken by where we're at right now politically. So I'm not going to base my dreams and my future on some bullshit that's happening right now in this country, because stuff's going to change. My dreams are not dependent upon some crazy person's ideas. People need hospice nurses. People need people who care in this profession. There's a nursing shortage. There's all sorts of reasons why this makes sense to me. But I just wanted to give you a little insight into my mind as you follow me on this journey. I start hospice aid, my very first bottom of the barrel job, tomorrow. I'm excited. I know that the first week or two, it's just going to be training and Shadowing follows that. And in March, I go to community college where I am going to be getting my CNA certification so that I can just tick off the boxes and start getting myself to where I need to be. I'm very excited, and I'm so excited to share this journey with you. Thank you for coming along with me. I want to show women, especially Gen X women, women like me, women who've been afraid of not being able to follow their dreams their whole life, that you can do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you how hard it is and how great it is and all the stress and all the worry and how do you parent and where's the money coming from and how do you put food on the table, all of it. Because you can do this. You really can. And I'm here for it.